Hello everyone, and I am Arvind, your host at Wise Limited. And now we are making a course at our company schedule that providing best journalism course, okay, at YouTube and many other sources. So yeah, we know what is the meaning of the news, okay? What is news, okay? So in simple term, news is a report and summon action that of an event which has not been previously reported and which interest affect significant segment of community as well as audience, okay? So Devistar Nitin New College Dictionary according that what is the news? A report of a recent event, material reported in a newspaper, matter that is newsworthy. So these are the something definition of the news, okay? For example, interesting to the general public at warrant reporting news and then has a timely value. It must have be interesting to be value of the general public has a timely value and it must be interesting to be value of general public history. So this was it something like a definition of the news, okay? And then we will know that how much element must element that immediacy, proximity, consequences, prominence and suspenses, oddity, sex, conflict, emotion and progress, okay? Mass appeal be that timeliness, you will timeliness and indispensable part of the strength news story. Without timeliness and news story is a historical records. This will be record in a particular company, particular a new organization, so they will record about everything whatever happened in the history. Proximity news event may occur close to the reader in both the physical and the physiological sense. The most important person in the world is individual reader write about what he think or does and his attention is guaranteed. And the consequences, the more people affected by the news event, the greater consequences it has been for the leadership. The journalist job is to discover and report new readers will affect and how long they will be affected for. Prominence, when Mr. Smith has a gallstone attack, it has a little news value. Let the same thing happen to a star footballer quarterback the night before he is started to Super Bowl. It's newsworthy. Okay, so basically the audience going to be favor on that news channel which is providing something new on this news. So okay, and suspense, a continuously storytelling about the locate a missing child, content suspense. ODTT, and the readers are interested in people, animals and things which don't fit to the normal person when whales beach themselves without reason. ODTT is the act giving the news value by vary the danger in this element, though you must have a good taste not to engage the bizarre for its own sake and merely for shock value. Never ridicule people, never depend on audacity to fill your paper. Conflict, emotion and progresses, these are the something which you will focus as a news angles, okay? So the dominant element of news is often called as a news beggar angle. Once the writer analyzes the news content and even news worthiness, he will want to determine which element within the story is most important, and the element become the news peg, okay? However, these elements of the news are not dependent on exclusive of each other. The intertwine, the support each other. It's difficult to use them separately. Now I want to ask like what makes good journalism for us. So journalism is not the 8 to 5 job, okay? It's a aspiring journalist will be find himself working long hours of develop a story. It's not a working 8-hour period, but it's a long period to making develop a story then showing before audience. At first each a word may extracted and placed on paper with great anxiety. There is no easy road to writing well. It's a take time and practice. Additionally, many newsworthy events don't occur during normal duty, and the hours and editing may assign the reporter to cover evening event. And reporting is usually take place after normal works hour. there is some flexible workers which they depend on time and flexibility, perceptiveness, and most of the more important thing about research, you will research about your content. No one can write intelligently about any topic unless they have researched it first. Fast breaking news stories, stories leave little times and background research, but the reporter must find that report interesting, informative fact. When a reporter is assigned to cover a speech or meeting, he can check into the background of the speaker, the purpose of the speech, and the result in the back topic to period meeting, etc. An enterprising reporter might be interested to speech in delivered. Indeed, the reporter can write much of the story period in the actual speech. Reporter must be chosen, however, for the speaker who discard the speech for another speaker who make important remark during the course of their speeches. So this was the something about introduction about news and interviews. This was a part 1. We will discuss in part 2 mechanics of the news stories, how they